Greetings, my beautiful lovelies. It's Emmy. How are you? It's great to see you and welcome back. Today's video is sponsored by Skillshare, the online community that offers thousands of classes for creative and curious people. In these times of uncertainty, having a creative project or some kind of creative endeavor is such a great way to harness that time to create structure for your day. And Skillshare is a great way to do that. So at a time when so many important conversations are being had, your voice is more important than ever. So using something like Skillshare is a great way to unlock your creative potential and use it for social good. So whether you're fending off boredom or you're focusing on self-care through creativity, or you just want to join a community of like-minded creatives, Skillshare is a place to keep you learning. So joining a Skillshare community is a great way to support, to encourage, to be inspired by fellow creatives. So right now I'm taking Ade Hogue's class, Lettering for Self-Expression, and its introduction to hand lettering and how typography, font, line weight, all can be a way to express something beyond just what the word says. It's a project-based learning class, so by the end you'll have a little postcard that you can send off or share. I love that type of learning. It gives you something tangible, some kind of absolute project that's manageable, that by the time you're done with the class, you actually have something to show for your efforts. So if you'd like to try Skillshare for yourself, be one of the first 1,000 people to click the link down below to get a free trial of Skillshare's premium membership. And after that, it works out to be about $10 a month. Big thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring this video and for their continued support. So today I'm going to be making Zeppole di San Giuseppe. Now this is a beautiful cream puff that's filled with a custard cream and topped with a maraschino cherry. I had never heard of this before until I moved to the East Coast, particularly Rhode Island, where it is so beloved, but it is hyper regional. It originally comes from Italy, and they celebrate San Giuseppe, which is St. Joseph, and it is said that he saved Sicily from a drought, and they have a feast on the 19th to celebrate him. So I've heard a lot of pronunciations for Zeppole. I've heard Zeppole, Zeppole, Zeppole. So you can find Zeppoles here in Rhode Island from Valentine's Day to around Easter time. Most bakeries only have them right at that period of time, so they're really coveted. Today's recipe is going to be adapted from Rhode Best. I'll put the link down below to the original. Alrighty, let's go ahead and make these. So we're going to be making the pastry and a pastry cream. Now the pastry cream needs to be made in advance because it requires some refrigeration. So to make the pastry cream, in a saucepan, you're going to heat up 2 cups of milk. You're going to add a piece of lemon rind. You're just going to bring it up to the scald. You don't want it to be boiling. In a large bowl, you're going to whisk together 3 egg yolks and a ½ cup of sugar. Whisk this well until it lightens in color and the sugar is well combined. Next, add 3 tablespoons of flour and 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, and whisk that in as well. To the egg mixture, you're going to add 1 ladle of your hot milk. Whisk that in. Continue adding the milk 1 ladle at a time. We don't want to add the milk too quickly, otherwise we risk curdling or cooking our eggs. Then pour that back into the saucepan. Then over medium heat, we're going to whisk this mixture continuously until it thickens nice and thick. We want this to get to 180 degrees Fahrenheit. Once it reaches 180 degrees, you're going to transfer it to a bowl. In this case, I'm transferring it to a sheet pan because I want it to cool quickly. Cover it completely with a layer of plastic wrap so a skin doesn't form. Allow this to cool to room temperature and then place it in the refrigerator and allow it to cool absolutely completely. So we're going to be making a cream puff or a pâte à choux dough. It's actually very, very similar to a churro recipe as well. Deep fried, rolled in cinnamon sugar. Absolutely sublime. I'll put a link down below to a recipe where I made some. I also wrapped it around a hot dog, so it was a little bit different, but at any rate, churros are amazing, and today we're going to be making cream puffs, but instead of frying them, we're going to be baking them, which I've come to understand is actually what most bakeries do nowadays. So in a saucepan, we're going to combine 1 cup of water and 1 stick of butter that I've cut up into 1-inch pieces. We're going to melt the butter and then bring that up to a simmer. I also have my oven preheating behind me. So this is coming to a boil. We're going to turn off the heat. Now I'm adding 1 cup of all-purpose flour. Using a wooden spoon, I'm going to stir this in. It's ready forming the dough. Now we're going to turn the heat back on And we're gonna cook this for 3 minutes. And it should come off the bottom of the pan, which it's doing already. But we're just gonna cook this for 3 minutes, continually stirring it. So now to our hot flour paste, we're gonna add some eggs. That's what's gonna give us our poof. And now we're gonna use a hand mixer on low and beat this for a couple minutes to cool it off. Let's feel. Okay, that feels good. So now we're going to add 4 eggs. We're going to do this one at a time. Then we're going to mix this on high speed for 1 minute. Alrighty, here we go. So I have a large piping bag fitted with a 1M tip. Looks like that. And here I've got a baking tray lined with parchment. If you don't have a piping bag, you can just spoon this onto the tray. Swirl. All the way around, and then I'm going to build a little wall on top. Cute. Okay. So now I'm going to pop these into a preheated oven. I'm using a convection oven, so I've got mine preheated at 375 degrees Fahrenheit. If you're using a standard oven, 400 degrees. We're going to bake them for 25 to 30 minutes. And with 5 minutes left in baking, pull these out and use a toothpick and give them a little puncture, and that'll allow any excess steam to get out, because we want this to be nice and dry and crusty, so it'll be crispy when we bite into it. Alrighty lovelies, we are back. Everything has completely cooled. We have to make sure that everything's cool before we fill our beautiful cream puffs. Look at them! Didn't they turn out great? This is the first time I've ever made cream puffs, and they're absolutely gorgeous. Now, my first batch, they looked beautiful, but then when I took them out to give them a little poke, I noticed that they started to deflate. So I knew that I took them out just a little bit too early. So it's important not to open the oven door, not to poke them too early, because they'll begin to deflate. So make sure you let them sit in there for the full 25 minutes. Still a beautiful cream puff, to be sure. You can see how the second batch is definitely taller. A little bit more cooked on the bottom as well. So we're going to complete this picture by stuffing these with the pastry cream we made earlier. I put the metal tip on the coupler, then I put all of this inside of my bag, then I take the other end of the coupler and twist that on to lock it into place. So now we're going to take our beautiful cream and fill our bag. We're going to use a paring knife and cut around pastry, and it will reveal, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? That one's gorgeous. All right, slice that one open too. Now we're going to fill it with our pastry cream. Now put our little hat back on. And then we're going to swirl a little bit more pastry cream on top. Oh, so cute. Boop. Now we're going to top that with the maraschino cherry. Boop. And a little bit of powdered sugar. Oh my gosh, so stinking cute. Isn't it beautiful? Look, 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 look. So stinking cute. I love it. I love the little shadow that it leaves from the powdered sugar. So beautiful. Alright, my lovelies, so I was able to get 8 full Zeppoles. I have a couple cream puffs left over, but I only had enough filling for 8, but 8 is plenty, and they look absolutely gorgeous. I have a knife and a fork, but maybe I'm supposed to pick this up and eat it this way? I think this will be more fun. Alrighty, happy St. Joseph's Day. Itadakimasu. That's lovely. The cream puff is a delivery mechanism for that lovely pastry cream. And the pastry cream is lovely. It's rich and milky and vanilla. And thick. and oh so smooth. I'm trying to see if I can detect any of the lemon flavor in there. No, I don't taste any lemon. I am not a huge fan of maraschino cherries, although I think it looks absolutely adorable on top of the Zeppole. But yeah, this is delicious. And it's a great play on textures too. We've got the cream puff on the outside. That's a bit firm when you bite into it, and then you've got the really smooth, cold pastry cream inside that's rich and has a great mouthfeel. But that wonderful play of textures and flavors, it's delicious. Alrighty, my beautiful lovelies, that's how you make homemade San Giuseppe Zeppole. Absolutely delicious. Actually, not that much work to do, and the results are absolutely gorgeous. Be sure to check out my website for a printable recipe along with full instructions. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, and big thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. If you'd like to try Skillshare for yourself, click the link down below and be one of the first 1,000 people to sign up for a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership. And after that, it works out to be about $10 a month. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media, like this video, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Toodaloo, take care, bye!